I'm Colin Baker, and you are listening to Mark Who 42, The Meaning of Life.
Welcome to Mark Who 42. That's right, Mark Who 42, here on behalf of ourselves. I'm your host, Mark Baumgarten, and we've got another Doctor Who special episode for you today. That's why we're called episode 427 DW. What the name of the episode is, maybe we'll find out in a little while, but let's introduce my special guest again. We always bring him here. I yank at that rope. He comes in because he has no choice. Mr. Jarrod Cooper. Hello, Jarrod.
Yep, just consider me not the host.
Not the host.
Baby Sinclair, not the mama.
I totally understood that reference. You didn't have to explain that. Understood that. Not the host.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
So, just don't expect me to have any singles released like hippie dance tunes.
Just keep that pan away from me because I don't want to get hit on the forehead.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Which actually, if you look at my forehead, is perfectly like the right baldness for it.
So faithful listener, I just want you to
listener. He said listener, not listeners. Faithful listener. I heard that.
Well, because there's only one person. I'm talking specifically to the person that is listening to it right now. Not everyone. I am talking to the individual that is listening to this right now. You all heard Mark say that his head was a perfect target for a frying pan. So when I eventually hit him with it, that is why you heard it. He's given me permission. All right. We are here to get things back on topic in terms of our TARDIS travels or schedule changes in relationship to our TARDIS travels. Mark, we did an episode last week because there was lots and lots of news that dropped.
There was. In fact, we went through that news meticulously, going through press releases and statements line by line, very, very harshly looked at. Yes, we did do that.
Yep. And some of what we're going to talk about this week is going to be a little bit of a recap of that because there is a lot of yelling on the internet. If you've been out there for the last week, everybody's talking about Doctor Who and what the statements mean and what the tones mean and what this word means and that word means. So we are going to talk about what it means. I don't think we should call this episode Welcome to the Wilderness because we're not exactly in the wilderness.
Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. We got everything you want. How do we know the name?
I would rather be in the jungle than the wilderness. We're almost like glamping. We're not really roughing it quite yet. We're just glamping, as it were.
Yeah.
We've got the dress rehearsal going on, but we can still run into our air conditioning whenever we need it. So do a really quick recap from last week for everyone who is listening. As you are aware, the BBC did put out a statement that they have canceled the Doctor Who Christmas special for this year as they are going forward with putting the show into competitive tender. And a lot of people, and in some cases ourselves included, Mark, took that and ran with it as they've canceled Doctor Who. Doctor Who has been canceled, etc., etc., etc.
When I hear the word tender, I hear the word pasture.
Mm-hmm.
And so it seems like, not to me, but I think people are going, oh, we put it out to pasture. So that's over. It's
and
gone.
I don't think it's the word tender that's doing it. I think it's the putting it out to.
Okay.
That is what's doing it.
That makes more sense. Yeah.
That is what's doing it because you put things out to pasture. And that's not really what's going on here. I want to talk to the listeners just to give them a little bit of a better idea as to what the tender thing is. Mark, when your local city council needs someone to come in and clean the swimming pools, right?
They put out bids.
They put out bids, right?
Yeah.
And whoever comes in and places their bid to either fix the swimming pool, clean it, whatever it is, they have to take bids, and then they find who they want to work with, and they enter into a negotiation with them, right?
Yeah.
Everybody understands what the bidding process is. Lots of your government organizations, your
Mhm.
local, especially here in the US, your local
Yeah.
governments, your state governments do this. This is no different what is happening
Well,
to Doctor Who right
there's
now.
one difference though, I think.
Hmm.
When they're taking bids, they go for the one they're going to spend the least on. The one
Right.
that's going to be the best for the littlest amount of money. The underbid. You're trying to underbid, outbid everyone else, underbid. And I don't think that's what we're talking about here.
No, but there might be a little bit of that in it.
Okay.
You know, because really what the BBC has done right now, they had for the past several years, there was a relationship contractual agreement with Disney that Disney was going to help spend money, invest in the show, help produce it and distribute it, and it will go on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Disney has now left. You know, it did not do performance-wise
Yeah.
for Disney what it needed to do.
Um.
However,
Mhm.
it did do for the BBC what it needed to do.
Yeah.
And they want to keep this franchise alive. So basically where we are when we are putting things out to competitive tender, basically the BBC is going to all those production teams, houses out there and saying, "Hey, we want your bids, your ideas, your budgets, your approaches. How would you handle Doctor Who?
Yeah.
How would you bring it to fruition? Where would you
Mhm.
want to go?" And Mark, I can guarantee you budget would probably come into that as well.
It would. It would.
That's why I'm saying it might not be going for the cheapest, but
Right.
they're certainly not going to go for the most expensive
I
either.
would hope. I don't. To be honest, if spending money is not what the show needs, it needs storytelling.
Right.
Yeah, you need to spend money, but not. I mean, oh, I mean, an example that people throw out there, excuse me,
Hmm.
throw out there is that Interstellar Song Contest. How
Hmm.
that episode must have had money because of all the effects, especially and the
Yep.
computer graphics. They threw a lot of money, and I did like that story, but they could have told the story and not gone crazy like that. And I mean, maybe it wouldn't have had the same visual effect for the Disney Plus audience,
Right.
but I think it would have still had a story. And Doctor Who's always, I don't want to say always, but the budget has been a contexture, has been a part of it all the way through. So yeah, I guess maybe not completely underbid, but you don't need to be the highest in any way,
Right.
shape, or form. No, nowhere in anywhere like that.
Right. And if they are going to come in and say, "Hey, we've got this high budget," I can guarantee you these productions are going to go, "This is where we're going to get the rest of the money from." And
Hmm.
going this, that, and the other. So long story short, the cancellation of the Christmas special lined up with, we are putting this out to competitive tender because it's not fair to whoever the next production team is. Whoever, because the last time we saw the TARDIS, Ncuti Gatwa was standing on the precipice right there, looking at Joy the star and regenerating into Billy Piper.
Yeah.
If And that's where the story needs to be picked up from. So all of these people who are going to be putting their bids in are going to be picking it up from that as being the last element. It would be horrible to say, "Okay, we want you to start putting together a bid process, but there's a Christmas special coming. You don't know what's coming in it. You don't know what developments are happening, etc."
And they might have picked a new doctor, which then would they be stuck with the team that bids on it? So yeah,
Yeah.
I get that. That makes a lot of sense. Um,
So when people sit there and scream and yell and say, "Doctor Who's been canceled," no, the Christmas special has been canceled.
yeah.
And well, they're putting it out to pasture. No, they're basically placing it up for bids. Now, Mark, here's the interesting part.
Okay.
Is there a world, is there an alternate universe out there where Bad Wolf places a bid and wins it to continue production on their own without the Disney Plus money, et cetera, et cetera?
There is. There
There's
is. It may not be probable completely, but it is possible. It
Yeah.
is something that can be done. They could put it out, and the team that had it before can make another bid and get it again. It's doable. But will they
Or
in our world?
or
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 BBC Studios can put out a bid.
and BBC
And
Studios, I think, would be great.
yeah. And this is not Doctor Who is not the only show that this has happened with. This has happened with multiple franchises, etc. And one point that our friend Richard Osman from the Rest is
Hmm.
Entertainment podcast put out, there has never been a BBC show that has been put out to competitive tender that was either canceled or canceled after one season.
Yeah.
And they put these things out because they want them to continue. They want there to be a multi-series future for Doctor Who. That is why it is there. So, like I said, we went through this entire rigmarole. If you go back and listen to last week's episode, you will hear us going line by line. But a lot of the crosstalk and things of the last week has been, hey, this has got canceled. This means this. It doesn't mean that. No, we need to take another step back and just reiterate what this process is. And I think the government bid portion, is the best way to explain it.
Yeah.
Because it's the best simile out there for what this is.
No,
And
it's interesting. It's talking about other franchises or other shows that have been put out to tender before.
mhm,
I did not realize that Mastermind
yeah,
was one of them. Because
yep,
that's a very popular show. That's been on forever. Like Doctor Who. It's been on forever. And it's gone through this process and it's still going.
Casualty.
Casualty, yeah.
There's The Weather. I know they did the same thing for The Weather in the UK.
The weather forecast, that 5-minute little thing at the end of the news show, is completely separate. Yeah.
So there's plenty of stuff out there. And will it come back with the same budget? Who knows? Does it really need it? No.
No.
Because some of what we talked about was, you brought up the Interstellar Song contest. That's really simple. Lots of visual effects, etc. But I go back to Boom from last season. It
Good.
was a great episode with a guy in a quarry standing on a landmine.
Yeah.
That's really what it needed. So yeah, and if you go back, I still think that some of the best Doctor Who stories, and I'm not even going to say Doctor Who stories as well. Star Trek is the same way. Some
Hmm.
of the best stories that are there are ones that could be done on stage easily. The episodes that keep coming back, like Blink. You could do Blink on a stage if you needed to. You could do Midnight. I mean, think about Midnight. Midnight is
Midnight Show is almost completely a stage production. It's one major set, little ancillary sets on the side.
Yeah.
It was a stage performance. Yeah.
Yeah. But so is the sky falling? No, it is not. Are we in a new wilderness years? No, we are not in the wilderness. Like I said, are we in the jungle? Maybe, because let's talk logistics and timings here just for a second. As we are recording this, it is the middle of June of 2026.
Yes.
Normally the bid process, the tender process, however, 6-ish months tends to be how long it lasts. So if they put this thing up on June 1st, we'll just say that June 1st is when it starts. That'll be
maybe July 1st. July 1st makes more sense. Yeah.
July 1st. July 1st makes more sense. That will give them through the end of 2026 to get this process done. And at the end of 26, that's when they say, oh, we have announced we are going to partner with X, whoever X is, be it BBC Studios, Bad Wolf, Mark Who 42 Productions, Big Finish Television,
Babylon 5 production.
Whoever it is that says that has the money and needs to go and do it, that's fine.
Yeah.
One thing I wish I kind of look forward to happening, and I really wish it would be, because again, Richard Osman on the Rest is Entertainment brought this up, and I think it's a good point. When Doctor Who came back in 2005, it was brought back by a generation of fans of the classic show. Okay.
Yeah. Moffat, uh, Davis,
Mm-hmm.
Chibnall, they were all Davies. They were all fans of the original show.
How
Yeah.
many people are currently in production roles, writing production that came up with the 2004 Christopher Eccleston, David Tennant, Matt Smith was their doctors, and that was how they saw their view of the show.
Yeah.
And are they going to take it to the next incarnation of what it is? I think that would be something really cool. I don't know who it should be. I'm not going to say anything about who it should be. Um, all I know is to get to the back half of the show, Mark, we have time to kill
We
because,
do because if you think about it, let's say so we're going to the end of the year.
yeah,
So we've got Jen, and you've got to, the company has to pick a doctor, pick a production team, create a series, and so you would think a series 2028-ish, though they could do a Christmas special in 27 if they worked on it.
if it was really, really quick,
Yeah, and you may not want something really, really quick because you want something really, really good.
right.
Yeah. So I'll say
And
2028.
you know, one of the benefits of Bad Wolf, if Bad Wolf bid it, and Bad Wolf decided that they're going to go with someone other than Russell T Davis, whoever it is, and we're going to continue producing it, etc.
Mm-hmm.
The only benefit the Bad Wolf would really have is they've already got a TARDIS built. They've got the set still standing.
Is the set still standing?
Well,
I'm not
maybe,
100% sure the TARDIS set is still standing.
but they've still got it.
It's got the pieces. They got the pieces. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like they're building it from scratch.
Right.
They've still got it hanging out. So, yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
good stuff there. So there's lots of people that are going to be sitting here listening to us going, great, Jared, Mark, you're telling us we won't have Doctor Who again until 2028.
That's not true.
That's a year and a half away. And folks, we're here to tell you there's a whole bunch of stuff that's out there. And we are talking specifically through this to the people who are fans of the modern iteration of the show.
Yeah.
Who have never been in this position before. So
because that is, I won't say a majority, but definitely I would say a half. I mean,
yeah,
you've got the old fans who went through this 89 to 2005, except for 96. But the new people who started in 2005 or even later, they've had Doctor Who on every year. Well, except for this year. But yeah, anyway. So yeah, they are not used to not having Doctor Who on TV.
Right. And I mean, and
even when there wasn't a season, there were specials.
There were specials, and if you wanted to go back and rewatch something, even Stephen Moffat said at a convention this past weekend, really, you've got the entirety of Modern Who on your iPhone right now.
Yes.
To go through and do it. But there's more stuff out there if you're interested in it. One thing that I talked about a lot, we did a show called The TARDIS Travel Guide, where we did a lot of venturing with Big Finish Productions.
Yes. Our friends at Big Finish Productions, love those guys. Love them all.
And if you are a modern series fan, where you like the modern series, there is a plethora there for you.
Yeah.
Mark, where would you suggest someone who, because I get it, if you go to the Big Finish website, there's a lot there. And
there is.
There's 20-something years of Doctor Who, etc. If you are a fan of the modern show, where would you suggest that they start?
Well, definitely the Eccleston and Whittaker seasons that they're doing now, because you've got the actual actors doing their stories, and the stories are original stories, but they fit into the season. So if you love Doctor Who when it first started again in 2005, You've got a whole series of stuff to listen to. If you were a Jodie fan, and I know there are a lot of people who were, a lot of people aren't, but a
Mhm.
lot of people who were, you've got your doctor and Yaz on audio. New stories, fit the era. It's
Mhm.
perfect. If okay, let's say you like. So I would say, well, let's say if I was going to say unit, you go, oh, unit, that's old. No, because they now have, what is it, unit eras? Is it unit eras right now?
Yep.
And
Yeah, there's two things. There's two releases that have been going on. There's Unit, the new series, like Kate Lethbridge Stewart and her gang.
which is
Kate,
new? Who?
which is New Who. And then you have older Unit with Brigadier Bambera, Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart, old box sets like that.
Yeah.
So yeah. On top,
But you've got Mel. Isn't
Mhm.
Mel doing a unit?
Yeah, they're in the most recent box set
Yeah.
eras, as you said, Hostile
Yeah.
Universe. Mel was in there. So if you wanted something from the Ncuti Gatwa era, where you had a story that had Kate Stewart and Mel and a unit tower story, that's there for you.
Yes. So you've got everything from Eccleston all the way through to Shooty. Just
Mhm.
something representing for everyone. And we talked about this last time. I think a perfect series they should do is the Time Hotel,
Mhm.
which would be another Shooty era storyline. Not necessarily with the doctors in it or anything, but the whole concept is an amazing
Mhm.
concept where you go to a hotel and you could go out to any time through a door. Kind of like the
Mhm.
TARDIS. The Time Hotel's the TARDIS.
But just to have a little bit of skimming through some of what's available new series.
Okay, so then I would definitely say the Eccleston and the Whitakers.
Yep, Eccleston's The Ninth Doctor Adventures with Christopher Eccleston and Billy Piper. They are about halfway through their run right now. They've got another year or so
Yep.
left for those. Those have been really good. As Mark pointed out, this is Christopher Eccleston and Billy Piper right there together.
Yeah.
If you are a fan of the 10th Doctor, okay,
Mm.
there is actually a 10th Doctor season coming from Big Finish next year, which is really, really fun. There's new 10th Doctor adventures coming. However, there are box sets and other stories that have been released featuring the 10th Doctor on his own with new companions in the Dalek universe. However, there's also an entire box set of the 10th Doctor and River Song. And then you have others where it's 10th Doctor and Catherine Tate and 10th Doctor and Billy Piper as Rose Tyler. Those are really good places to start there.
You just brought up River Song.
Hmm.
She's got several. I love her character. I love Alex Kingston, and they have done so many box sets. And I don't want to get people overwhelmed that there are so many of them. But
Right.
you know, which one should they start with? You think? Because the River stories are amazing too.
Let me get to there
Okay.
really quick, and we'll go
Okay.
really quick.
Okay.
Um, you brought up the 11th Doctor. The 11th Doctor does have a new range that's out right now with the 11th Doctor Adventures. Now, Matt Smith is not playing the Doctor. There is currently a gentleman by the name of Miles Taylor playing the Doctor, but he is real, just like Jacob Dudman before him. When it comes to audio, he does a really, really good Matt Smith. So
Okay.
if you're missing that era, that is all there as well. Starting next month, we have a series with the 12th Doctor
Yay.
with John Colshaw and Gwythan Evans. Really good there. Again, it's not Peter Capaldi, it is John Colshaw, but John Colshaw does a good Doctor. Going to the 13th Doctor stories really quick. Of course, we've got the current ongoing with Jodie Whittaker and Yaz Khan. If you were a fan of that era, go there. It is Jodie Whittaker and Mandip Gill. They have reprised their roles. Really, really strong. Um, One thing that I will say, if about Big Finish, if you're a fan of that era, they tried their really hardest to be true to that era in tone,
Yes.
feel, the way it sounds, story pacing, etc. And I'm saying that because Mark, you brought something up. Were you a fan of the Jodie Whittaker era?
Okay. Oh, we really have to go there. Um, I had a problem with the writing.
Okay.
I think
That's
Jodie is a great actress. I had a
okay.
problem with the writing. Her
Okay,
portrayal was as good as it could be with the writing that was there.
okay. We're going to stop right there.
Okay.
On the TARDIS Travel Guide, we listened to the first several box sets
Yeah.
of the Jodie Whittaker era. What did you think?
Okay. Well, the first story, I was looking for like something completely different,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't. It felt like it was in the era.
Mm-hmm.
And by listening to that a second time and listening to the second and third and fourth
Mm-hmm.
ones, I'm like, this is what it should have been. This is Jodie with good writing. This is what it should have been.
And
And
it's
it
really
fit in that era. It felt like it belonged there, except that it was better material.
and this is sort of history repeating itself because wasn't there a classic Doctor that Big
Colin,
Finish
yeah,
did
everyone
the
had
same?
yeah, Colin Baker. Yeah.
Yep, that was the exact same thing. And Big
But what's
Finish came.
funny,
Mhm.
I love Colin Baker on TV. I didn't need, however, the writing is amazing. It's better writing, but
Yep.
I like Colin from the beginning. I had no problem. I enjoyed the TV. Some people didn't, but the people who didn't, when he came into Big Finish, they started
Mhm.
loving him. He's a big favorite now.
Yeah, he is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Now the 14th Doctor, again, David Tennant wasn't really around that long. I foresee Big Finish writing stories with the 14th Doctor, taking older Donna, older Mel, Rose Noble, whoever else off on little side trips in the TARDIS. I foresee that happening. It is not there yet. So if you are a really big David Tennant fan of that era, go listen to his other stuff.
Yeah.
There's not much there for you. Same thing with the Ncuti Gatwa era. There's that era just ended, so there's not much going on there, but it's all
Except
good.
for Mel.
Yeah, Mel
Yeah,
and
Mel
the
and Unit.
Mel and Unit, but that's as probably as quick as they could come out.
Yeah.
Now, side characters that have their own ranges from the modern era. I do want to bring up a couple. First and foremost, the Paternoster Gang.
Oh, Strax, Madame Vastra, yeah.
Yep, Vastra and Jenny, they have several box sets there where you can follow them on their Edwardian timey-wimey adventures. Lots of one-liners there.
Oh yeah.
Also for people that are fans of Captain Jack, there are several box sets that are the lives of Captain Jack, along with an entire run of Torchwood.
That's a lot of episodes. You're getting them into
But
something big there.
yeah, but if you like Captain Jack and you want to see more from that character, it is there. It's
Yeah.
really good. And if you wanted to see more from Team Torchwood, there's Torchwood ranges that are there. I'm going to recommend still my favorite Torchwood monthly audio is one from the first five or 10 that was released with Gareth David Lloyd called Fall to Earth, which is
Mm.
just it's hysterical and fun. And if you aren't really used to audio, it's a really good one to get you caught up with because there's not loads of characters. It's pretty much a two-hander where there's Gareth and one other actress who's playing it, but it's a great story. It's fun. And if you wanted to dip your toe in, there's not a better way to do it. Another character that's got their own spinoff, Missy.
Yes, Missy. Yes.
So if you're a fan of Missy from the Capaldi era, we're all good there. Couple box sets in. And then we're going to bring up Unit from the new series. We mentioned them before. I am going to recommend for people that are new to Unit and are looking for stories, that they can get done. There is a Unit box set called Silenced, which is basically Gemma Redgrave as Kate Lethbridge Stewart, Ingrid Oliver is there as Osgood, and as you would think, it is Unit versus the Silence.
Yes.
If you were a fan of the Sarah Jane Adventures, you want to go on to Ronnie Saves the World. which is Ronnie and Clyde from the Sarah Jane Adventures going on and having new adventures. There are 2 box sets now. Luke, Tommy Knight does come back as Luke, and there's some tie-ups there from the show that's really good. And the big one that Mark talked about earlier is 2 ranges. The Diary of River Song and then The Death and Life of River
Yes.
Song.
Yeah.
River has tons there. If you want to have a fun, kind of classic, kind of modern take on it, do you remember The Power of the Doctor?
Yeah,
Mark?
of course.
There is a River Song audio that kind of works as a prequel to it, which is The Death and Life of River Song, Ace and Tegan, which shows River's interactions with those 2 former companions that came back and had things there. There's also brilliant things here. There's some where River Song goes into unit. I think they've done every classic series Doctor with River interacting with all of them. But yeah, the Diaries of River Song and the Death of Life of River Song are really good. I can't think of one that isn't completely self-contained, where you didn't really need to listen to the one before it to understand what went on. So that's all good there. And if you wanted to jump on next year, River and Rory
Yeah, yeah.
with Alex
That should be
Kingston and
fun.
Arthur Darvill.
Father and daughter.
So that's a lot there. If you do go over to the BBC side of things for BBC audio, they do have a lot more of your audio books, not really full cast productions, more audio books of people reading either target novelizations or original stories. That's good things to happen there. If you are a new series book fan, there are new series books that are out there, and they are still coming out. Mark, you brought up River Song, The Ruby's Curse by Alex Kingston was a great river story that people
Yes.
from a modern era can do. So yeah, what else
We've
would
got
you
that multimedia coming up. The multimedia
Circuit Breaker?
Circuit Breaker. Yeah, that Time Fracture was the old one. Circuit Breaker. Yeah, that's coming up momentarily. Actually, it's like
Yeah.
almost here.
Yeah, where
And
it'll
that does books, that does audios, that does comics, that everything, all different. That's why it's a multimedia project, because it's multimedia.
featuring another doctor from the new series who has both their own audio range and other things. That will be Joe Martin as the fugitive doctor.
Yep.
So it's good there. And again, if you no matter where in the new series you fall, there is something there for you to explore. And I don't want you to say, Jared, I'm scared. I want to listen to this stuff, but if I go to the website, I see all this stuff and I think I'm behind. If you go and find any of these releases that we've just talked about, the Ninth Doctor Adventures with the Ninth Doctor and Rose, or the 13th Doctor Adventures, or the 11th Doctor Adventures, these are very self-contained stories. You will be fine.
Yeah.
And now, if you listen to the entire run of the Ninth Doctor Adventures, are they building up to an arc? Yes. If you build up to the 13th Doctor, same thing. Are they building up to an arc? Yes. But if you pick up the first one off the shelf and you say, okay, I want to kind of listen to this one and get a feel for it, you'll be fine. That's why I specifically recommended Torchwood Fall to Earth. It's completely standalone. Lots of stuff going on there as well. And there's more that we didn't even talk about. There's the War Master, the War Doctor. If you wanted to listen to stuff about Winston Churchill, you can do that.
You've got the current master.
Yeah.
Is it still current? I mean, it's still current. It hasn't been another one yet, but
right.
Does that master exist anywhere?
Well, Sacha Dhawan is still we haven't seen anything happen to
That's
his
true.
master.
So you're
he's,
right. Yeah. So it's the current master with their stories out
I
there.
mean, well, I mean, think about the classic series. Anthony Ainley showed up through 3 doctors.
Yeah.
So
That's true. That's true.
so yeah. For the wilderness camping, the glamping.
Jungle.
I'm going to call this the glamping years because that's what we are. We
The
aren't real.
glamping years.
Yeah, we aren't
Okay.
really. We aren't really out in the wilderness. We're not really in the jungle. We're not really lost. We're just kind of staggering around. So it's like we're glamping. We're not.
Okay.
We're not lost. We're not there. We're just preparing ourselves for it. But fortunately for us, there's lots here for it.
Yeah. There is, and it's not going away, folks. Doctor is not going away. No.
So
We're stuck
just
with Doctor Who for now and forever at this point. We're never getting rid of Doctor Who.
just to recap, just to recap, Mark. So we are all here together. The Doctor Who, they're taking bids for it to be produced next, right?
Yes.
So we're all good there. We have to wait for that process to do its thing, at which point the new production team will take over. And then we are gonna sit and listen to our Big Finish audios, watch our Blu-rays, watch our streaming, go listen to your audio commentaries, whatever it is you need to do, we'll be fine.
Yeah, we will. We will, folks. Doctor Who, we're fine. We're good.
Yep.
That's a relief. I mean, I know this, but a lot of people have been going crazy on the net, and we just wanted to make sure we put out there that no, we're good. We're good. Copacetic. Yes, a little bit of waiting, but you know what? Sometimes you have to wait for the good stuff, and the good stuff is coming back. We're not. It's good. It will be good. It is good.
Exactly.
All right. I think on that note, we're gonna take it here, end it here. I want to
You
let
know,
everyone. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Mark, you know what this reminds me of? I remember when Big Finish just got the rights to the Tom Baker. Right, to the Tom.
Yeah.
Okay. They started announcing projects. I will never forget them releasing this this story that we have just teased will be out in 3.5 years. There was a time where literally Big Finish announced a Tom Baker thing 3.5 years out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could go to school and get a bachelor's degree before that audio hits. Like this, I get wanting to give people lead time, but that's a bit much.
Yeah.
We don't have to wait that long.
No, we don't. I'm not going back to school. I'll tell you that. All right. So on that note, we are going to end the show. I want to let everyone know this special episode has just come out a couple days after an episode we just did on the Masters of the Universe franchise and film. Please, if you've listened to this show and you like Mark Who 42, if you like our banter and stuff, and it's not with Jared, but with Juan San Miguel and Vicky Jakubowski, please listen to our other shows, listen to our past shows. We've got some great shows out there. I know you will enjoy them. I want to say thank you to Florida Geek Scene for letting us, one of our places that we let our show sit at and let people listen from. We are all around the interweb, thinking on different platforms around out there. And coming up, Florida SuperCon in July. You can go to floridasupercon.com for more information on that. Dragon Con is coming up in September. DragonCon.com. Yeah, that's right. And if anyone wants to, I will be lounging around at Otaku Fest this weekend in West Palm Beach. So if you want to stop by, I'll be somewhere on the dealer room. Just say hi to me. I'll be saying snacky nom nom to all of you.
I'll be at a jigsaw puzzle swap trying to get rid of this pile of jigsaw puzzles that is in my house.
Okay. Well, that sounds like we all have plans. Until next time, guys. Thank you so much. My name is Mark Baumgarten. Jarrod Cooper was our guest. Bye. You've been listening to Mark Who 42. Your hosts, Mark Baumgarten, Vicky Jakubowski, and Juan San Miguel. you'd like to leave a comment for us, please email us at marku42.42@gmail.com. Marku 42's Universe is produced and directed by Mark Baumgarten. Copyright 2026.